2.5 minutes into our hike and we saw a big snake. And what's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about carbohydrates before bed and whether or not you can have them.
It's a common misconception and we want to go ahead and debunk the controversy amongst it.
And we're going to kind of go through what we do and how you could apply it as well. But before we do that, let's get started and take you through our day. Assisted pull-ups, and by adding the resistance, I know it looks like we're not doing much, but we're going really slow on the negative and trying to explode up on the positive. Give this a try. If you don't knock it out just because it's assisted pull-ups. I know that it's girly or whatever, but it's hard. So we couldn't get any footage from our training session, but we did hit back again. Good back session. Now we're gonna go eat, and then we're gonna go on a hike. So stay tuned.
Now we're eating lunch.
Post-workout
meal.
Lunch.
We got lucky because we have delicious leftovers from my parents cooking dinner. So Eric's eating some filet mignon, just your casual lunch. I am eating some cod and some broccoli. So yeah, we're gonna go in.
So,
well, that lasted long.
2.5 minutes into our hike and we saw a big snake, and I don't do snakes. So we're doing a different hike. I thought they were kidding about snakes.
I'm sweating. That was stressful.
Alright, we're going for round 2 on the hike because the first one was an epic fail. So how do I combat hunger when I'm cutting? I don't. You're just miserable. That's the only way to do it. Alright, so we just finished up the hike. Now we're gonna go back and get some food. It's around 3 o'clock right now, so meal 3, chicken and broccoli. Yay! Our staple.
Especially now, since we're on contest prep, we are trying to weigh most of our food just so that we can be like extra accurate and careful when we're tracking our macros to know exactly how much food we're eating, and it also teaches you what a serving size is.
This is what we're having for lunch, made by her.
Yours truly.
So we're going to get back to the question that we posed at the beginning of the video, and that was, can I eat carbs before bed? And if so, can I still burn fat doing it? Short answer to that question is yes, and now for the long answer, we're going to get into that. The first question that we want to use to answer this question is, how many grams of carbs a day can I eat and still burn fat? There's a ton of factors that go into this, and just to give you a ballpark though, right now I'm eating between 200 and 350 grams of carbs a day.
On a cut.
On a cut, yeah.
And I'm eating between 100 and 200 on if it's a low carb day or a high carb day, depending on that.
Right, and so that's what one thing that we're going to mention is we are carb cycling. So we have days where we are low carb, where we're on that lower end of the spectrum, and then days where we're high carb, where it could consume 60% of our total calories.
Exactly.
But then so getting into how many grams of carbs can I eat, so that's going to depend on your gender, male or female, your body composition, insulin sensitivity. If you can eat a ton of carbohydrates and not store fat, then you're very insulin sensitive. Could depend on daily activity, testosterone balance, leptin levels. There's so many things.
A whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Moral of the story is there's a ton of factors that go into it. So to really figure out how much, there's a ton of calculators out there. There's online coaches that can help you determine that, like me. But on top of all that, it's really, figuring it out for yourself. Like, all right, this is my maintenance level. This is where I'm not going to gain a ton of fat. This is where I'm at. And I have to go slightly below that to start burning fat. So that's kind of the first thing that I wanted to talk about. The next part is, what type of carbohydrates can I use? And Delaney has like a unique case, so I'll kind of let her talk about that.
Yeah, so I have been gluten-free for like 5 years now, because I was just having some serious stomach issues, and after a bunch of stuff, found out that I'm sensitive to gluten. So I think there's a common misconception that you can eat gluten-free and it's automatically healthier for you, and that is completely not true. It's still important to look at food labels and look at what is actually like the nutrients and the ingredients inside of whatever you're getting, because just because they slap a gluten-free label on there doesn't mean that it's automatically like a better carb. Like if it's gluten-free bread, that doesn't mean it's any better than white bread with gluten in it.
It could actually be
It could be worse. It
for
could
you.
be higher in sugar. So
yeah,
I think that it's really important that if you're going to go gluten-free, understand that gluten-free doesn't necessarily mean healthier if you don't go about it the right way. So, I mean, for me, being gluten-free, I've learned like the foods that are, really good substitutes for foods that you would usually have if you were not gluten-free. And I've learned how to eat around it and be healthy and not consume gluten-free donuts and think just because they're gluten-free they're good for you, because they're not.
They're not, no. And to kind of carry them off of that, so I eat pretty gluten-free just without being gluten-free. So, the carbs that we're eating are rice, potatoes, obviously, sweet potatoes, usually more brown rice, oatmeal. Do we eat any other carbs? I mean, vegetables, fruits, but the majority of those, big filling carbs, the oatmeals and rice and potatoes, that's usually what we're eating for our carbohydrates. But we have things like rice, pasta, I don't know, I'm trying to think of couscous, which we don't really like that much. Quinoa, yeah.
Quinoa's in it.
Yeah, couscous though, you have to make sure you don't get the wheat-based couscous. But
I think all couscous is wheat-based.
No, they have gluten-free couscous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I actually like couscous.
Yeah.
We should give it a try. Okay, so the third thing that we want to touch on is nutrient timing. So kind of like when we would eat all these carbs, if you want to.
Yeah, so we're going to have the majority of our carbohydrates pre-workout, during our workout, post-workout, and then there's like that lull period on a cut where you just kind of, your meals have like broccoli and, you know, vegetables, like us, and then usually we'll save some carbs though before bed. So this kind of ties back to that initial question of can I eat carbs before bed? And our main goal is, look, we know we're going to be hungry at night. We're going to be like, you know, watching TV or doing something on the computer, and you're going to want to snack on something. It's human nature. And what we do is we save carbohydrates, you know, not 90 grams, but like 30 to 40 grams for nighttime.
Yeah, I mean, even like if it's a little less than that, just so you can have something. Because, I mean, let's be real. Everyone has cravings at nighttime. Like, if you don't have a craving at nighttime, please comment. Tell me your secret, because that's cool. But, yeah, so if you save like 20 grams of carbs, then you can make some popcorn at night, or you can make, you can have some oatmeal or a little bit of like Cheerios or something to just like satisfy that little nighttime, I don't know what it is,
Sweet
you
tooth,
just need something, you're like, I don't know what it is, but I need something in my mouth right now.
So give me carbs.
So give me some carbs.
And so some of our favorite carbohydrates, just to kind of throw that out there. So we'll do a lot of popcorn.
Just like the kernels, so you pop them yourself?
Yeah, don't get like butter-based popcorn. Get like the white popcorn kernels. Make them yourself. You can make them in olive oil. You can make them without oil in the microwave. Super easy. We'll do Enlightened bars, or like, you know, sometimes we'll just go for like Halo Top ice cream, or, you know, one of those things. But you can, if you can make that fit into your macros, if it fits your macros, then
it's a great nighttime carb snack.
Yeah, and other things like she said, Cheerios.
Even if you just want like a little bit
rice
of fruit
cake
before bed, or like a rice cake.
Fruit, rice cake. Moral of the story is find something that is gonna hold you over. It's gonna satisfy you enough so you can go to bed and not be thinking about food while you're trying to fall asleep, and then you can wake up the next morning and start it all over again.
And also, another benefit to doing this is if you save a little bit of carbs for that late night craving, you're much less likely to binge.
Mm-hmm.
And much less likely to be like, okay, I'm going to have this one little piece of chocolate, and we all know that it's not going to be one piece of chocolate. You're going to go back and eat that whole bar.
Yeah.
And then who knows, then you're going to like spiral out of control. I mean, maybe you won't, but I probably would. I don't know.
Yeah.
But being able to satisfy that, it obviously makes you much less likely to binge everything in your kitchen.
Mm-hmm. And I think that this is like another video that we kind of want to talk about, and that's flexible dieting, which we'll save that for another video. But it really is true that you don't have to be miserable eating all your food. But another time for another story. So another story for another time.
So if you couldn't tell, we have got carbs on the mind.
Mm-hmm.
We're 7 weeks out now, right? 7 weeks?
7 weeks.
So yeah, we're getting there. But yeah, we hope you liked this video. We hope it taught you something, or you enjoy us sitting here talking to each other. Either way.
And we're going to be trying to do one of these videos like every week going up to our cut, and the big finale will obviously be the competition. So we're excited to show you that.
Yeah, so subscribe, comment, like, and
give us some feedback.
Yeah, give us some feedback. If you like it, hate it, we want to know.
And what do you want to hear about?
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
What do you want us to talk about?
Yeah. So we appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out.